beautiful people of Food Freedom Confidence. How are you? Welcome today. Today is episode 23. It's all about, oh my gosh, all or nothing thinking. And it's time to break up with it, right? We are going to discuss how this thinking really affects your eating and what you eat and our relationship with food. So we want to dive into this. If you are hopping on live, say hello. If you are watching the replay, say hello or just type in replay so we know that you're watching it, because I know that people don't always get to show up live, but you still matter even if you're watching the replay. So put in your comments of what you are taking away, what resonated with you. We love to hear your feedback. We want to make sure that we are giving you content that is actually supportive and helpful for you, because really that is why we're here, is to support you and guide you along this journey of healing your relationship with food. So before we get too deep, I am Hannah Hips. This is Sierra Spencer. We are donut eating, veggie loving eating psychology coaches. Sierra is a diet recovery coach as well as a weight neutral coach. I'm a yoga instructor and lead meditations. And combining all of that together, you get just such a well-rounded perspective on food, your relationship with food, and that is what we're here to discuss today. So let me ask you this. Do you say things like, I'm on track, I'm off track? Or how about, I fell off the wagon, I gotta get back on the wagon? These comments right here are all or nothing mentality. And when I think about all or nothing, it feels very rigid. It feels like you have to either be this way or that way and nothing in between, which also kind of makes you feel like we are only success or failing. And life necessarily isn't always that. Like failures, yeah, they're gonna happen. Successes, yeah, they're gonna happen, but there's so much more that happens in the middle ground. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about today, is just how our all or nothing mentality can really lead to emotional eating, binge eating, overeating, feeling out of control with food. All of that can be from that one thinking of all or nothing. And I feel like it has a lot to do with perfectionism, right? So you have to be perfect. If you are on or all or on the wagon, you have to be perfect. And that is a really hard place to be. And so if there's anything that goes off a little bit or we fall off a little bit, then we just give up and we're like, forget it. I can't be perfect, so I'm not even going to try. Now, is that the way that we should be approaching life, for that matter, or our food? I just love to think of like things are not as straight and narrow as we think they are. They're more of a wind and a curve. And if we can flow with that, then gosh, our life will feel so much better. Our relationship with food will be so much better. So often too, there's consequences of engaging in this all or nothing, it can bring in low self-esteem, self-doubt, stress, anxiety, the feeling of failure and overwhelm. And this can really distort our relationship with food.
Yeah, it's so true. I feel like, how many of you watching this, feel free to comment below, how many of you watching this have troubles with all or nothing thinking and are also, you feel like you're a perfectionist, or you feel like it has to be like, you have to be really good? Because I feel like perfectionism really stems from this all or nothing thinking, right? Like I have to be perfect. It's black and white, like I'm a rule follower. I know for me, like that's why I liked diets. I liked them because it told me exactly what to do and I could be good. It was like, I knew if I'm good or I'm bad, like, and based on what I ate, and that all or nothing thinking, dieting and following diets and this whole like healthy lifestyle thing really actually fueled this all or nothing mentality and this perfectionism that I had. So, definitely comment below if you feel like you relate to that, because we see with a lot of our clients this duality of all or nothing, black and white thinking, with also like perfectionism and relating your worth. And like, I had a good day. I remember my husband would ask, like, how was your day? And I would answer if it was good or bad based on what I ate that day, right? So if I like stuck to my plan, and if I didn't stick to my plan, it was a bad day. Jenny, thank you. Hi. And Liana, I saw you on too. Jenny, I feel that if I am eating well, then I should eat well for every meal. And if I'm off plan, it's just like you're bad. So such a good example. And it's so true. And there's nothing wrong with you if you do this. This is just diet culture. This is diet mentality. And this all or nothing mentality really affects our ability to have a healthy and balanced life experience, not just with food, but like Hannah was saying, like when we're stuck in all or nothing, like it creates anxiety and stress and self-doubt. We feel like a failure. Again, like my husband asked how my day was, and I would say it was bad just based on the food I was eating. But you might see this mentality show up in other ways too, like maybe at work, or maybe as a parent. Like, where else, I'm just curious if you're watching this, where else in your life does this on track, off track mentality show up for you? And to add fuel to the fire, the fact is that diets are built around that all or nothing framework, like we were talking about. We start the diet, and then it works until it doesn't. Then we try harder and we feel like, oh, gotta be 100% to get the results. How many of you have told yourself like, well, it's actually like, if I actually stuck to the diet 100%, it probably would have worked. How many of you like feel guilty?
I hear that all the time.
All the time. I'm laughing right
Yeah.
now remembering this, because like we've had so many clients tell us that, like, well, it's my own fault. Like I didn't stick to it 100% to get the results. You guys, diets are not designed to work 100%. It's not your fault. That's your biology. Like you activate a stress response. It's not your fault that you cannot stick to a diet 100%. Guys, it's not meant to work. Otherwise, you wouldn't go back for more and pay more money. You guys, the diet industry and diet culture and the diets that you are on are not meant to be long-term, are not meant to be able to stick to 100%. That was when I finally understood that it wasn't me that was failing. It was the diets and the restrictions that were meant to fail. I could start to see that this all or nothing thinking was actually not mine. That was diet culture, right? So when you feel ashamed and you cave into these bad foods and you feel like it's your fault, you get yourself just stuck in this all or nothing mentality trap. But really, it's not your fault that you are stuck in this all or nothing. It is diet culture and diet mentality.
Yeah, and as you were talking, I wrote down like, I feel like all or nothing is like this way of like, we have a sense of control. We're able to control our food. We're able to control ourselves, our environment by being good, all in, right? And there's nothing wrong with like going all in on things. Like we're talking about, so like what would this look like, all or nothing? Say you want to get healthy, and so you're like, okay, I'm gonna eat pretty clean. I'm gonna have a lot of vegetables, and you're going about your day, and you got a good breakfast, your healthy breakfast. You got some snacks with you. You got lunch, and say lunch was a little bit rushed, and so you didn't get to like really enjoy it because you were working at your desk, and so then 4 o'clock comes by, and you're like, I really want something. Oh my God, I got a candy bar in my drawer. Oh my God, I can't have it, but I really want it. And then it's like you have this fight, right? This fight, and you're like, no, I am doing good. I want to be good. I want to do this right. And you sit there and you go back and forth, and then eventually you're like, oh my God. And you eat the candy bar or whatever it is, right? And then it's like, oh my God, I ruined my whole day. I just ruined everything. Forget it. So you go and you get a bag of chips. And then you're like, well, shoot, I totally ruined it even more. And so on the way home, you stop by somewhere and get some more food, and you just take the rest of the night and said, whatever, it doesn't matter anymore. Now, like, how many of us has this happened to us? We start good, and then by the end of the day, our head is like in a tub of ice cream, and we're like, how did I get here? What if you allowed yourself to have that candy bar and it did not mean anything about you being on or off the wagon? You ate the candy bar, you enjoyed it, and you moved on, and then you had the dinner that you planned for yourself. And then you might have had like a little snack after dinner, maybe a dessert, maybe another candy bar, and it didn't mean anything. And you woke up the next morning and you lived life again. Do you feel the difference in, like, even the way that I was talking, of how frantic and crazy we feel when we have this, like, one way or another? We think if we mess up once, that means everything is out the window, it doesn't matter, and we just go way over to one extreme to the next. And what Sierra and I teach is how to have a little bit, it's like a little balance in your eating, in your day, in your life, because life happens and it's not going to look perfect every single day.
Yeah. It's so true. And that's why, this all or nothing mentality is so common. This is why we hear about this so often from our clients, because again, it's steeped in this perfectionism, and this all or nothing mentality is what is keeping you trapped in the cycle and not being able to have freedom and peace around food. It's actually keeping you from being your healthiest self, right? Like, it's not healthy. Like what Hannah described, a typical day of all or nothing eating is like, I'm good, 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 good. Like, I'm doing great. And then all of a sudden you're like face first in a bag of chips and candy. That's not healthy either. So when we can work on getting rid of this all or nothing mentality and seeing where it's actually coming from the root, this is when we can actually start to make empowered choices and actually crave salads and like want to eat vegetables and like overall eat healthy. And then it's just like your emotional well-being and your worth and your perfectionism in here is not wrapped up in food anymore, right? So it's time to break free from that. So if this is something that you're struggling with and you're not in one of our programs already, we invite you to join our Empowered Eating membership. Tomorrow, we are doing a special workshop all about the all or nothing mentality. So what we talked about today, going deeper, really actually teaching you how to break free from the all or nothing mentality. So in our Empowered Eating membership, we do these special workshops once a month, and we also have guest speakers. There's a community and there's support. We have journal prompts, and this membership is really a great stepping stone for people that feel, are like, I'm ready to take the next step, and you want something small, like, but you're not really you're not feeling ready to commit to something huge. Committing to our monthly membership can be a great step for you if you're like, what, I do want to start working on this, and I do want to fix my all or nothing mentality around food. I do, I feel like I do think about food all the time, and I don't like that, right? So this is a great step for you. So if you're interested in our Empowered Eating membership and you want access to all these extra resources, extra workshops and special guest speakers that we do, please comment below membership, or comment below like, hey, I'm interested. Or if you don't want to comment because you're nervous or something, that's fine. Just send Hannah or I a private message on Facebook, and we will give you all the details about the membership, prices, breakdown, like, do you think it's going to be a good fit? So if that's something of interest to you, please comment below, and we'll make sure we reach out to you. So that way you can really start taking action on like how to start solving this in your life.
Yeah, we'd love to see you in there. We're going to talk about deeper, and I'm probably going to share a story in there of like my experience in the last couple of weeks of what has happened to me. but I'm going to share that on another time. Anyway, we'll see you guys later. Thanks so much for joining us today. We appreciate you, and we want you just to have happy eating and a happy relationship with food, and we will see you next week.
Bye.